interesting. Now,
Yeah.
Gareth, kind of dusk settled from a very, very mad week, which all started on Wednesday when we was at the Michael Watson mile walk. Shout out Ina, it was an excellent event for everyone involved. But we heard from Chris Eubank Sr. and then that kind of started a
You let
lot
him
of
hammer me live on IFLTV. You
he
didn't
was
have my
hammering
back.
everyone, Gareth.
Oh, no, I know. He was hammering anyone that was supporting Conor Benn against Chris Eubank, wasn't he? But he's very hard to argue with, Joe, when he's supporting Michael Watson, a guy that he's damaged 35 years ago, who's now 60, thank God. He's got Nick Blackwell to his right as well, who was damaged by his own son. He's lost a son in Sebastian already. Being very emotional. He's prodding several of us, going, "Do your job properly. This fight shouldn't be happening." He's got the rhetoric, and he's got some of those things right as well. There is a big weight discrepancy, or the size discrepancy in terms of the human beings, and also Chris Eubank Jr. is getting limited in his weight, and Conor Benn's coming up in weight. We've seen it in the past with big fights of Roberto Duran and Marvin Hagler and Khan and Canelo and Cal Brook and Gennady Golovkin, and it generally doesn't end well for the smaller man. Um, and I feel that way about this. My pick until we get to fight week, and you smell them and you scent them up close, and you take little leads of things, don't you? And you get excited and you go back and forth and you talk about things. In the cold light of day, I expect Eubank to beat Conor Benn on points. I expect him to be too big, too strong, to know too much in the ring and be able to withstand the vicious assaults, body and head. That Conor does so brilliantly, all of that, how he moves. He's vicious. But if we may be surprised by Conor Benn and his tenacity, but we may also not be surprised that one man is just too big for the other.
Yeah, we will come back onto the actual fight itself, Gareth, but just last one on Senior's comments. I don't know if you saw his hour's interview with Carl Froch, and he seems incredibly certain that the fight still won't happen. Um, he used an analogy about if you walk outside and you try and shake the earth, he's as certain as you won't be able to shake the earth that this fight won't happen. He says he knows why, but he's not going to tell you. Um, yeah, pretty out there comments, aren't they?
Well, I mean, well, we
Does the
go into
fight happen? Does it plant any seed of doubt into your head?
well, maybe he's willing the universe to supersede in the affair and make sure it doesn't happen. Maybe he's trying to do that. He certainly doesn't want any involvement in it, other than getting on a very powerful father's soapbox to give his point of view. I think he's genuinely caring about the two fighters. I think it comes from a good place. I mean, if he knows something we don't know, whether that's down to Eubank has got an injury, or Eubank hasn't trained properly for it, or Eubank's planning on pulling out and we're not going to get it for another 2 years, or I hope not. Um, I don't know, but I hope Senior is wrong. I know I circumvented the question about him. He's very hard to argue with, because his points are well made, and this is a big prize fighting money grab, but it's still very exciting, and it's got us all on the edges of our seats. Egggate, Egggate. It's all about to happen, isn't it? I've only got this because it's an Easter Monday. But it's going to be a really big week. It feels big. You
It
know what
starts
big fight?
tomorrow. It's huge.
It starts tomorrow evening, and it does feel very, very big. And It's going to be on all the mainstream channels. It's going to be on all the terrestrial networks news that 35 years after the two fathers fought twice at the NEC in a 9-round bloodbath and then moved up a weight division, super middle, and fought in front of 42,000 at Old Trafford. The sons of the fathers meet again in a family bloodline feud that's simmered for decades. You can hear, there's the script for the news and clips of Ben and Eubank signing the deal live on ITV 35 years ago, and all the enmity that there, and parliamentary procedure and all of those things. We're going to hear it all week, and interlaced with that is going to be little tricks, mental games between Ben and Eubank, and I can't wait for it. If I'm brutally honest about it, I can't wait for it.
Do you think it does over 1 million pay-per-view buys?
Let's see what happens this week. They might need a stunt or two this week to take it over the million mark. I certainly think it'll do 500,000. It could well do 800,000 eventually. It will probably do 60,000 in the stadium. I'm led to believe they're getting close to 9 and 8 million each. So if you think that the gate receipts as well, it's a 20 million fight. So, they probably need to do 700,000-800,000 minimum for Turki Al Sheikh to get his money back, and or make a profit at least on the promotion. Because remember, it's what's it called? City of Fury? No.
Fatal Fury,
Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
I believe
Is
so.
that right? Fatal Fury. That's the game that's sponsoring it. Obviously underwritten by Turki Al Sheikh, and I believe he's here this week. So it's going to be a big week. It's big. It's really, really big, and I cannot wait for it. Late evenings. We're in East London twice. We go to Spurs on the Thursday. I'm going to say it. We're at the Islington Design Centre on Friday.
It's been released now anyway.
Oh, good, because I
now.
think that's an open weigh-in
Yeah.
normally, isn't it?
So
That's
we
why I
go
wasn't
from
sure. That'll be a
East
big crowd
London,
in there.
North London, Central London. We're everywhere this week.
That day, our barometer will tell us whether it's doing 1 million
Yeah.
on pay-per-view or not. And my barometer, whether, when I start getting calls from network TV to go onto the news to talk about it, or you just get a barometer of how big it is. And I think we'll know on Friday. We'll know Friday evening how big it's going to be. And obviously, the funny thing is, Conor Benn and Chris Eubank will weigh in at, I think, 9:30 in the morning on the Friday. They'll do a ceremonial, I think still in the evening, isn't it? But Chris Eubank, even throughout all of that day, has still got to weigh in at 170 the next morning, which he's not a small man. People forget how hard he hits as well, how capable he is. They're all talking about Ben's tenacity and him chasing him around. Eubank hurts people. He can hurt people. So we shall see.
Last one, as of Monday, 7:10. Just to confirm, you still are picking Chris Eubank Jr. to win.
Easter Monday, 7:10 p.m. Just about to have one more tequila and gift my cream egg to someone. I am picking Chris Eubank Jr. to win on points, just to be hanging on late in the fight. After repelling Ben for 2 or 3 rounds, he'll win the first 2 or 3. He'll get closer at 4 and 5. Eubank will have some success through the later rounds of the fight. It's a 12, not a 10 round fight, isn't it?
Yep.
Do we know?
12? I'm assuming it's 12 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. Remember the problems with 10 and 12 round fights last week?
Not again, Gareth.
And in the late rounds, maybe struggling a little bit with weight, Chris Eubank clings on in a close encounter. where the Ben fans believe he's done enough because of his tenacity, but Eubank wins on a split decision. Two clear judges, and one gives it to Conor Benn, and Eubank wins on points. And then there's talk about doing it again.
Let's get through the first
You
one.
know how boxing
Uh,
rolls, though, so
let's
it's quite plausible.
It's quite mad that we are 5 days away, and yeah, it all begins
Two and a
tomorrow.
half years on, Joe.
Sorry, two and a
Two
half
and a
years
half
on.
years on.
Exactly. Well, 35 years on, if you want to look at it like that.
35 years on, 2.5 years on for the original, 10 times the size of the fight it was.
Cannot wait, Gareth. Thank you very much. Enjoy your tequila. Enjoy your Cadbury's cream egg, or whoever you may be gifting it to. Um, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, sir. Lovely to see you as always.
You too, mate. Thank you.